What's up, everybody? This is Jose Ortiz. We're back at it again today. We're talking design, visuals, aesthetics. We're in InDesign today, so stay tuned, stick around if this is your thing and this is what you like to do. Thank you guys for tuning in today. So, what I felt like doing today with you guys was actually a continuation of yesterday's episode. I just want to take a look at what we have. We were talking about water consumption, and we made a very quick graphic, and I was trying to use typography just to really quickly relate a message, and we left off here. And I was looking at this poster, and I'm like, wait a second, this could be something, and I want to actually show how I would probably go about improving it, because I remember in the last episode I said, yeah, well, this is just the beginning, and you could go from here. So I want to go do some of those changes with you, and I want to see if we can get this to a place where it's a viable poster that's also informative and it looks cool. So first things first, I remember saying last time we could use some of this white space, we could bring this down, bring it up. What we're going to start by doing is rearranging some of these elements here. And we're not going to do a lot. Remember, design is, it can happen in very few steps. So my idea was to decrease this a good amount, 72%, and then we can make, 72 points, then we can make this 72 points. Okay. And we can, like that. And I want to get rid of this, well, actually, if I go to InDesign Preferences, I can't see my baseline. So if I go to Grids, and I go check that off so I can see where we are. But actually, working in black, it does make it very difficult, so I'm going to change that. So what I'm going to do really quickly is turn off the background. And on this page, I'm going to make words back to black. All right, we're going to start here for now. Let's save that. And we could keep on going. The only thing I'm not seeing, view, raising guides, hide guides. The only thing I'm not seeing is my rows going down, so I'm just going to see if I can recreate that really quickly. I don't know if it was only on page 1 or page. It's fine. Let's go here, go layout, create guides. I think it was 6 with no gutter. I can't see him, but it doesn't matter. All right, so immediately what we did here, just by making save water smaller, we allowed the visual image to come out a little bit more. And so that, if this is a poster, we want it to catch you without having to read too much into it. The 0.3% is something that you want to be able to catch really fast. So the wording, just by bringing it down, allows it to breathe. We could even bring this down even some more. And what I was thinking was putting the fact. I will leave that just, for now, just in case. Just because we don't. And then here's the fact. Right? So this is water distribution on Earth. So today, most fresh water exists in the form of ice, snow, groundwater, and soil moisture, with only 0.3% in liquid form on the surface, which is really huge. I mean, if we have fresh water counts for nearly 1% of the entire total amount of water on the earth, that's not the amount of water that's available to us to use, readily available as humans. Most of that 1% of fresh water in total exists in the form of ice, snow, groundwater, and soil moisture. So we really only have 0.3% of the entire total water on Earth that's available in liquid form on the surface for us to use. That's a very small number. That's the number I want to highlight. So I'm going to hit Command C, copy that little sentence, go back into InDesign, and I'm going to just place it in there, and we're going to turn it down, because now that we have people's attention with the image, now we can get them to pay attention to the words, the wording. If it's not 12, it's got to be 24, and we can just leave that one 24. Okay, let's see how that looks. All right, drop it like that. Let's see. Today. Form on the surface. So, what if we put save water before that, and this all the way at the bottom? All right, that's a quick variation. I'm gonna go ahead and save that and just keep going. So I'll make another page, duplicate that, and we'll try something else. What I want to do is try changing these typefaces. I just want to see if we can get a more powerful image with a different typeface. Accurat is there. You know, Accurat is one of those. It's redesigned to be like a better version of Helvetica. It has still that humanist features to it. Like the A is very humanist. I want something that is humanist and relatable. And what's cool about Accurat is that it kind of gives you that message in a very plain but understandable format. And then it's not as boring as Helvetica, because Helvetica was almost designed to be like the go-to perfect typeface that would, you know, it fits all situations. It's your number one go-to for just plain old information, you know, conveying information. Let me see. Let's just take a look at these two variations. So we have, let's get this out of the way. We have Courier, and then we have Accurat. So right immediately off the bat, we can see how Courier feels very like depersonalized. It's in this font that's like this information font. You see it places like, very probably back in the days they would get a letter in some type of typewriter type of font that it's just like plainly states, hey, listen, you owe the IRS some money, whatever, and it looks just like that. But when you see this, it's a little bit more personalized, right? It looks like social media. It looks friendly. It looks like a genuine message almost. So, but it's still not there yet. So I'm going to go ahead and I just keep making these duplicates because it's nice to sort of flip through and then see some of these changes so we can assess how they're working. Part of what you don't want to do when you're designing is delete your designs, like your progress, because it's very hard to gauge where you're at and how you got there if you can't see those steps. What if this wording was like in a very tight space of the poster and it's like only 0.3% of this poster we're going to give to this information? that's one version. I got another idea. Oh, cancel. We're gonna go here, and I'm going to just make that type smaller. I just want to see if I can make it smaller. I want to experiment with, like, if I got your attention, could I get you to peer into this area right here? The other issue, I mean, the biggest issue that I feel like that I'm sacrificing is one, legibility, and two, hierarchy. I mean, is this the most important information that I'm trying to convey? If so, should it really be the smallest thing on this page? I don't know. Those are just different things that you got to consider. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Because now there's a big difference between this huge visual element and this very small piece of information. Let's do another duplicate. And I just want to take out save water. Literally just take out save water. 0.3%. And now, wow, see this. And what if I just made, okay, I'm going to make another duplicate. What if I just made this smaller? It feels a little bit too big. Okay. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Now let's make another one. And can we drop? Let me do fit frame to content. Okay. Now can I drop this a little bit? Just because I want to see if I can bring it more closer to our center of attention. Okay. 0.3%. Today, most fresh water exists in the form of ice, snow, groundwater, and soil moisture, with only 2.2% on the surface. How can we make this better? How can we make this? How can we make this better? Now, what if we brought back the save water? But now, what if we're more intentional with where we put it? Like, say, keeping that information at the bottom. What if save water was just as big as that information there? Okay, that's cool. What if, let's make another version. Let's just try something. Now what if we put save water somewhere like just random? There's something going on here, man. This thing could get better. So we're gonna leave it like that. I'm gonna go get some inspiration really quickly. Sometimes it's what you gotta do. Go here and I go to Behance. Oh, I made a whole new window. We go to Behance. Perfect. And I'm just gonna look up posters. Poster design. Okay. Oh, this is cool. My hands are tied. The grass is always greener on the other side of the fence. This style is pretty cool. It's just like solid blocks of color. The same typeface. can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs. It's pretty cool. It's like supposed to look like a chicken. Russian folk wisdom. Ah, now I got an idea. What if we took this idea and stretched out the message with break some of these lines? Let's try that. All right, here we go. We're gonna try this now. Totally different direction here, guys. And let me just lock our guides. Instead of letting that be the main message to 0.3, what if we let the message be the main message, and then we try to figure out how we can bring in those visual elements? So I want to know, does it start at the top? Yeah, it kind of starts at the top. All right. We're going to do something here. And I'm going to bring it. Yeah, we'll leave it there for now. And let's make it big. Go big or go home, right? So we're going to go to see if 72 is big enough. At 72%. 72 point. Yeah, it's getting there. Maybe slightly, maybe slightly more bigger. So let me try something here. Let's do 12 times 9. Yeah, let's do 108. 8. And let's bump up the leading to. Oh. All right. I like where this is going. Maybe a little too big. Let's go 108. I'm so bad at math. I can't even believe that. Minus 12. 90 something. 96. We've made it just a little bit tighter, so 84 leading. Okay. A little too tight. Yeah, probably need to drop this. Let's drop this to 84. Okay, we're gonna use that. And now, what if I brought like this image of the drop and put it over transform, no, arrange, bring to back. Only 0.3%. That's funny how like the rain drop isn't. Actually, we could use that to our advantage, so I might want to keep that in the back of my head. A little smaller. What if on the 0.3 side of things we made that one just no color at all? And now All right, so the drop is doing something. It just needs to get tuned up visually. I'm gonna fit frame to content. That is something that I could probably spend a bit more time on trying to figure out. Okay, what is the way to like? What is the best way to kind of tune that up? You know, like maybe that brush effect on the drop is like not doing enough for it. Like it's doing or doing too much to it. So all those things to consider. Just gonna move it back a little bit. Now, what if save water was like the 0.3%? Maybe that's a little too small. Definitely feels a little too small. But that's what we're here to do. We're here to improve this design. It's not going to be perfect. And that's why I kind of wanted to go back to this because, you know, I wanted to actually show you how I could make this into a viable poster. And this type of stuff, I mean, it goes a long way. I mean, there's a bunch of different marketing agencies, nonprofit organizations, environmental awareness organizations that are dedicated to this type of work. They might be putting out a campaign on water consumption or water preservation. You know, you could be part of the team in charge that, you know, puts together an aesthetically pleasing, you know, informational campaign on this sort of thing. And it's real, it's visible, it has impact, it has value, it has purpose, and you might get paid to do it, you know, so why not? So that's the part of design for me that's super enjoyable. Now, what I want to do, I just had an idea to make this teardrop even like, how do I say this? To take the teardrop, and make it like solid color, like what we've seen on those other images. So I'm just gonna see if I can open up or find that. Actually, that was probably an Illustrator. That's why it's not popping up here. I'm gonna see if I can find that file. Yeah, it's right here. Okay. All right. So, right. What if we had this? And it's so sharp. I mean, like that. Like that. Just to make it a little bit more like droopy. Okay. Like, there we go. A droppity drop. A little bit more, you know. I don't know. A little bit more droppy. All right. Now we can begin to use this motif of the teardrop throughout the poster to give us some added impact, and I'll show you how we can do that in just a second. Let's give it some color. Okay. There we go. Like a water blue. Okay. All right. That's not working, but I'm gonna go ahead and save on that. And I'm just gonna go over here and I'm going to explore some more variations of this teardrop. I have that there. What if I made the stroke on this sticker? Okay. So it looks illustrated. You know what I'm saying? So that's the vibe for, you know, all intents. But now What if we took this and we tried to use this over here? Wow. So that's really dope. So that starts to give it like a starts to have like a graffiti S sort of tone on it. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna duplicate, and we're gonna try this on the next one. All right, now, what if we size this down, and the stroke is carrying over, like the stroke is I forget what's the term for it, but it's scaling down with the image, so it's getting thicker. Oh, that's cool. All right, now let's try to see where we can bring these how can we bring these drops in here. We definitely have something going on here. We got something that could be really, really dope. Really, really, really dope. And I'm just trying to figure it out. What if we took that out? Alright. Hit enter on that. Oh, actually, what if we even hit enter on that and made it its own line? And, you know, alright, cool. And now it almost looks like it's continuing a little bit. So now what we're doing is we're taking the sentence technique. Essentially, we're taking the sentence technique from the last poster and we're trying to utilize it on this poster. Today, most fresh water exists in the form of ice, snow, groundwater, and soil moisture with only 0.3% in liquid form on the surface. So there is some hierarchy here, some movement going on. We could do like an outline drawing of like a glacier and get it in here somewhere. The one thing that I would like to break up is I only feel, you know, the spacing isn't where I want it to be. With only 0.3%. And then what if we did this cascading? That's a little cascading effect. What I don't necessarily like is the fact that these two are almost touching. This is where you gotta, know your little magic. It could be that we just drop it, to the next line. What we could even probably do one more. All right, so that's one way we can use our typographic magic to work some wonders on a sentence. Now, so what we're seeing is some movement with the letter forms, and then this flat on the surface. That's actually really interesting because on the surface is now like flat. There's some white space underneath it to give us some context if we wanted to use something like that. It would be cool if there was an outline of a glacier here so that we can see, or like here even, so that it's on the surface. I'm not sure if that would help us, but there's something to take from this. Some pointers. Glacier outline. Before we invest some time into making the outline ourselves, could we just pull one really quickly just to get an idea of where we're at? Oh, this is cool. So because it shows the surface and then like what's above, what's below. Oh, what's really cool is that what if we took this and then use that as the window for the information? Wow, that makes sense. See, below the surface. See, so when we say on the surface, okay, so we could put today, all that stuff below, and then all the information above. So we're gonna try that. We're gonna make another one. Duplicate this. And what we're gonna do is, it's weird what we're gonna do, but bear with me. I'm gonna put this to the side for now. And what we need to do is get our glacial outline. We need to get our glacial outline set. So I could use that image there, but there's probably a better one like here. Oh, thank you. What we could do is use, let's see, I guess we could use this as a sort of idea, but I would like for the, let's go copy image. I would like for that surface line to be straight as possible. So copy, delete, paste, size this down a little bit. Save, layers, select that. Then we're gonna go to transparency. We're gonna drop it down to 50% or less. And we're just gonna lock it. Now we can zoom in and use our pen tool. And I'm just gonna make a straight flat line like that. And I'm gonna change that to black for now. Turn the stroke up to about 2. Now we can use a pen tool to just very quickly trace Place this image. I'm gonna hit escape. And I want that to be an outline, so no fill. Zoom in, just gonna get this right. Gonna drag it there. Pen tool. And I'm gonna continue. Working my way up. Okay. Alright, here, like this, like that. Escape. Let's do one more here. Alright. Now let's work on the bottom. Alright, I'm going to go over here one more time. Oh. Alright, I'm just going to have to click here, zoom in, and like see if I could join these two. Okay, it won't let me. Technically, it won't let me, but that works just as fine. Alright, escape. I'm going to do one more over here. Cool. That's our basic illustration. Let's take a look at how it looks without the image in the background. There we have it. Now we're going to soften it up a bit. We're going to go to stroke, give it a round cap and round joints. Nice. And yeah. So we take a look. There's no sharp edges. Just kind of rounded. Alright. This image now, I'm going to save this and just leave it on that same page. But this image now is literally going to be the entire size of the entire poster. So we're going to try to make it, see how it could fit if I wanted it. See that big. Can I put a mask over this? Let me highlight everything, but deselect the mask, group that, and then bring the mask to the front and create a clipping mask. Okay. If we can we go bigger? Cool. All right. So we got something like that. The one thing I don't like is this line just really creating like a strong moment. But I wonder if I can use like the word surface or something as a line. We'll have to determine that at a different point. I want to see if I can bring bring that line to the front. See how it cuts through the illustration. Now what if I made the stroke super big to see if I can fit some wording in there? So like surface would cut like right through there. Alright, cool. Let's just see if we can do something with this. Just want to go to artboards number 5. So I'm going to export this. Or actually, I don't even need to. Can I just copy and paste this into Photoshop? So small. But that's fine. What if I... Okay, so no. Don't want to keep messing with that. I'm just gonna export it real quick. Underscore mask. I'm going to use artboards. I'm going to say range of 5. I'm going to make it transparent, but with the white is still going to show up. Is there a way to... Yeah, there's a way to use the pathfinder so that we don't have to use a white stroke, but for now we will have to, and then I can always mask that out in Photoshop later. Alright, just trying to think ahead here. What I said, mask. Okay, I'm going to go to place length. And we're going to go to creation. We're going to go to projects. Creative exercises. Okay. Now I just want to delete that white line with the magic wand tool. Convert to smart object. Oh. What if I just did rasterize? Deselect. Perfect. Alright, now we don't have that issue. Alrighty. Now, let me see something here. I want to say I copy some text. Let's just try this out really quickly. Copy that. Paste that in here. No, doesn't work. Can I copy this? I see. It wants to make it a smart object. Okay, that's fine. Just for now, because I want to try the mask. say that big. Or I guess and I can always go back and refinesse that. But let's just copy that text and paste it in here. And that's gonna be what did I say that was? Oh, that was accurate. And we're gonna make sure that this is at 100% here. And that is accurate at about, I forget what the measurement was. 84, 84. For some reason, it doesn't look as big. Oh, but then again, it is because that's only technically the top. Yeah. All right. So I'm just gonna duplicate that text, mute that so I won't see it, and like say I masked it in here. Like say put that on, and then we just do quick selection. Oh no, I want to be on here. Oh, okay, it's not gonna select. Okay, so what if I did magic wand on that, this, and hit select inverse. No. Okay. Go back to here. And we do in fact give this a white fill. And then we go export again. 12 mask. Use artboard as 5 and we're going to take out that 0.5. Now what if we did convert and then I said relink to file. Okay. Right. So nice. Alright, essentially there we have it. And then what if I went to polygonal lasso and said include this chunk here. Okay. Did the same thing over here. Okay. Select inverse. If I made that a work path. Now what if we went to here and said make selection, then tried to mask that. Okay, now what if we, instead of doing that, hit select inverse, then try to mask that. Okay. Okay, maybe the way to do this is actually instead to make a clipping mask with this. That could be something really dope where, say, the background we put on, but we make it, I don't know, like a blue or something. Or black. Yeah, that would be cool, but say we went like blue. Okay. Something like that. This is a totally random idea that just came out of nowhere, but say we use the glaciers as basically this mass over this thing. But it would be nice to have saw the outline. So what if I did remove clipping mask on this one? What I deleted. All the white, so essentially doing something like that. I was somewhere, but I don't know where I am now. I was somewhere, but I'm not sure where I am right now. One thing's for certain though. We unlocked something here. We did unlock something here. So I can see this. I could see this being a poster where this wording here is masked really well into this glacier, and maybe the words just need to be bigger. Maybe the words need to be bigger or something. Something has to happen. But I can see that these words getting stuck inside this glacier and then having a real big impact, 84. Maybe it's that this needs to be like a white outline. I'm not even sure. I'm just gonna save this as 3 for the Photoshop version. All right, cool. All right, so we're gonna wrap it up there, just because I'm getting a little stumped here. But what we did do is a lot of progress, and so that's kind of what I want to go over. So let's take a look at where we started. We had a single water drop, and we had like brush stroked it, so it had like this illustrated feel. Then we had this sort of slogan, right? Save water. That's where we ended up last time, and it wasn't really hitting that hard. And so we made some changes. We added some facts in there. And we started by changing the font. We did some things with the font. See, does it work? Does it need to be smaller? Tried it without the slogan. Made the drop smaller and centered it. Brought back the save water at the bottom. Had it in this corner at the top there. Then we did this like very minimal poster where you can see this at a subway station at NYC, maybe like scrolling through one of those digital poster slides. And by all means, this, it could have stopped there, with something like this. We changed the water drop. Even this could disappear for a moment, and that's a nice poster as it is. There are some small maybe tweaks, maybe bringing down the in liquid form, like we did on the next one to try to give the 0.3 some room. I think that was my main issue with this version, was that it's nice. It's just all one block of text, and it's kind of boring. And then there's like this white space, but the message is there, right? Save water. And it kind of looks like it's 0.3% of the entire poster. So we did something like that where, we're playing with like the sort of the poetry of the fact. And then we moved on to the glacier form. Like, oh, what if we can use on the surface and mask these words somehow? And we started doing something over here. I'm not really satisfied with this result, but we did get somewhere that is actually very interesting. And it's 1,000 times more interesting than where we started or where we left off yesterday. So maybe what we'll do is my next stream will be about finishing this poster. And I only say that just because it's very, I think, helpful to see like how you can start off with the most basic idea. I mean, literally yesterday when I started making the poster, I said, I want to make something that feels wholesome. I don't want to talk about water because I am also very passionate about, the environmental safety. And I just wanted to know how much water we actually have on this earth that we can drink from. And it was so low that I was like, this is a, statistic that maybe we should all know, because it would help us appreciate water in a different way, being that it's so necessary. Um, so I think going forward, what I might do is try to make some of these socially relevant posters, just because like the world needs more of this than all that cool stuff that we see anywhere, that funny, quirky, comedic stuff. There's a lot of it out there, and it's really well done, to be honest. Issues like this are only going to become more important for us in the next decade and after. So, if there's a way that I can use my skills to make this information at least more visually pleasing to consume, I will, because it's important, right? This is a message that has value. So anyways, yeah, I'm actually pretty stoked with some of these variations that we came up with. This is how some of my poster designs they get made. Just going through this very process. I have all three of my programs up, so I can mock up illustrations very quickly if I need to. Go into Photoshop so I can do some masking, different photo manipulation techniques, and I have my InDesign up so I know how I need to layer or organize my information. Alrighty, guys, and that's it. I actually like this one the most, just because just because I think it's the most resolved, right? So if I was gonna look at a bunch of these variations, this would be one, and then the next one that we make next week will probably be the other one. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope this was a very enjoyable process. Not every process is perfect. Look, we didn't really end up somewhere that I felt like was resolved. You could submit this somewhere, but I think we could do better. And so next week we're gonna try it again. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys have a enjoyable rest of your day. I'm out.